Hello readers, so I decided to do a quick, this time it will be quick, vlog to answer two reader questions specifically about healthy barbecues and also eating in moderation. Rachel, this one's for you. I also, since I'm at home, decided that Maggie would come in and join in our fun. As you can see, she's gotten a lot bigger from some of her pictures. I don't know how long she'll stay in my arms without struggling, but we'll see how long she can hold on to talking with you guys. So we'll start off with barbecues. Personally, with the summer being around, I love barbecues. Basically, when I'm at home, it's like grill all the things because I can't do that in my apartment. So basically, with healthy barbecues, I always recommend if you're having a lot of people over, make sure you got lots of salad options around. So if you're having a barbecue type party, have a lot of options. You don't need to just have meat on the grill. Like there's vegetarian options coming out of the wazoo. There's vegan options even. When you are grilling, so some options on the grill. I will post some recipes below, some links for some good barbecue recipes for all walks of nutrition life, paleo, vegan, vegetarians, etc. I think she sees herself finally. So I'll post those and you can take a look at those for some inspiration. But just as a general, for regular eaters, you're carnivores, you have homemade burgers are so easy. I choose a lot of exotic meats, but you don't really need to do much in order to create a burger. You don't need to make them these heavy breadcrumb laden burgers. What I generally do is I'll just mix a package of ground meat, whatever it may be. Ground bison is my favorite, but you can do extra lean ground beef, you can do ground turkey, whatever it may be. Throw that in a bowl, and depending on how much meat I have and how much juice it may let out, I tend to put in a couple tablespoons of oats, so gluten-free oats or oat bran, to kind of soak it up. It acts like a breadcrumb. It adds some texture and can actually add some moisture back in as well. On top of that, I add my spices. I add lots of garlic, a lot of chili, and then some form of a veggie puree or chopped veggie. So I generally tend to do zucchini. So I'll grate some zucchini into my burgers. It basically adds some form of moisture to your burger. And you can also do pesto. I've done that before as well because I always have pesto on hand. And you can also do even butternut squash I've used as well. So again, look at the consistency. If you're having a really hard time putting them together, add some more of your breadcrumbs, your faux breadcrumbs, so your oatmeal or your oat bran. You can also use wheat bran, whatever it may be. I just can't use that because I'm gluten-free. But choose whatever you'd like, and those are generally a healthier option to something like adding breadcrumbs. Let's see. So I've done chipotle spice, so I have Mrs. Dash chipotle. So I'll shove that in with some cracked black pepper, some chili, some onion especially. You can also make yours more of a Mexican style burger. You can throw some salsa in there as your puree. Don't use too much. Again, you don't want it to be too liquidy. You want these patties to form. And then you do what you like, really. I think probably my favorite that I've done, I added some goat cheese to the patties with some sun-dried tomatoes, some fresh basil pesto, and a little bit of my breadcrumbs, and they turned out really, really good. So again, fool around with it. Once you kind of got your mixture all together, you want to form them into patties and put them in the fridge to firm up a little bit before you toss them on the grill. And just be careful with them because they don't have any egg in them or they don't have any solid breadcrumbs. They might be a little bit more delicate. So just be careful with them, but they turn out great. Taste-wise, they're awesome. So that's some burgers. You also have other healthy options being if you like turkey sausage, stuff like that. Also, other steaks and meats are typical. Make your own homemade kebabs. A lot of people love kebabs, and they're easy, they're finger foods, and you can really customize them to make them what you like. And it's not really that hard to make a kebab. You basically just take some wooden skewers and you soak them, preferably overnight so they don't catch on fire. And then you just thread them when you like. Again, you can make them vegan, you can make them vegetarian, you can even put some firmer cheeses on there, and that's really good. Cheeses that won't melt. Some of your firmer ones, I believe, like rock or like cheddar, really old cheddar works well. Because I'm allergic to dairy, my cheese vocabulary is not very good. but firmer cheeses do well. Boccioni, you want to do almost like an Italian type skewer, you can use your boccioni. I apologize to any Italians if I'm butchering the pronunciation of that. Boccioni with some tomatoes and even zucchini would go well with that as a good option. Again, you're making that vegetarian. Throw some chicken on there. You don't need to make it vegetarian. Or tofu even. You can skewer tofu, shrimp, all those good things. Salmon skewers would be wonderful. You make like a nice Asian type marinade with some soy sauce, whatever it may be, whatever you like. Those are great, and you can even have all your guests make their own kebab, and then you just grill it the way you want. I also love getting big aluminum foil pans and just chopping up a whole bunch of veggies, all nice and chunky, and putting some spices on there, a little bit of olive oil, and that's good to go on the grill too. And then you have this whole bunch of grilled vegetables, which personally I love throwing in salads. Again, bringing back those salad options. Always have your side dishes so that people have something, that feel like they'll have some greens or some more veggies in their life. If you have, a whole bunch of steaks on the grill, what are you going to serve it with, right? Grilled veggies make great additions to salads. You may think it's weird to add some hot things to a salad, but I think it's a great contrast. And the nice char really adds some great flavor to your vegetables, or your salads, sorry. You can make a vegetarian chickpea salad, right, with some tuna maybe, or some grilled salmon even. And you can throw in your roasted vegetables instead of them doing them raw. It'll add a whole new depth to that salad. Even quinoa salads, you can use roasted vegetables instead of raw or slightly steamed, right? And I just think that grilled makes everything taste better. So that's my opinion. What else with barbecues? Again, when you're having barbecues, healthy barbecue ideas for drinks even, grill up some fruit. You can use fruit as dessert as well, or skewer some pineapple and add that to some fancy drinks. In terms of keeping barbecues healthy, you can have those options of, doing lettuce wrapped burgers, or using lettuce as buns, or cabbage kind of holds up a little bit better. Keeping the sugary drinks down to a minimum also helps with keeping your barbecues a little bit easier on the waistline, but whatever. It's the summertime and people like to have their full-out barbecues. You're only going to do it once in a while. It's not going to kill you, right? Enjoy your time. And if you really, I've said this before, that if you really want to stick to keeping it as light as possible, then pick your thing, right? Maybe you would love to have that burger, okay? So then stick with the lighter drinks. Don't have the alcohol in the burger. Or have that burger loaded up with those good toppings and have a lettuce bun, right? And then have a nice salad on the side as your lighter option for dinner. And as I mentioned before with grilling fruit, you can totally make desserts on the grill as well. Grilled fruit is awesome. Pineapple holds up really well. What else? Melon probably would end up dying. You can grill up strawberries, just they have to be quick. Cherries would probably do well. Peaches are amazing frozen, and if you buy or get or even make your own homemade frozen yogurt, or banana ice cream, or even getting regular ice cream, whatever it may be, grilled fruit makes a delicious topping for it. It makes its own syrup then, and you just let that just melt on the ice cream, and it's delicious. And they make for great little party decor in your fancy drinks as well. Little skewers with a little grilled pineapple on the end. I think that looks pretty. Much better and more edible than a party umbrella. So that's that question. I hope that answered some of your thoughts. But in general, I will post some links about some options, some vegetarian, some vegan, some paleo, all the interesting diets out there. I'll post some recipes up for those guys. I won't leave anyone out. Mike's following a little bit. As for Rachel's question, she asked basically, I eat pretty healthy. I eat fairly healthy all the time, but I find that when I go to parties, I just want to eat everything in sight. It happens, okay? This is very common. A lot of people, it's the social aspect. I find that you'll always end up eating more in a crowd if everyone is eating. It's also something that you're not really being mindful of what you're eating. If appetizers and stuff are just coming around, then and you're not really paying attention, you're chatting with people, whatever it may be, then so just lower this here. See the pretty baby. Um, whatever it may be, you're chatting away and you're just putting stuff in your mouth, to be honest, and you're not really thinking about it. So a lot of people tend to overdo it at parties. Drinks are another thing that people tend to overdo. They just keep sipping away. And again, because you're chatting with people, you're not really thinking about what you're eating. It's different from sitting down and having a meal, right? You think about what you're eating. You think about how you're feeling, how full you're feeling. It's different. So don't be too hard on yourself. But in general, some ways that you can possibly combat this is to eat something beforehand, right? So if it's a dinner party, maybe have a light snack before you go. Make sure it has some healthy proteins and fats specifically. Carbs aren't really going to fill you per se. Protein and fats will be more satiating. So they'll keep something in your belly so you're not starving by the time you get to the party. If you are starving when you go to a party, you will eat everything in sight. It just happens, and often party foods, not necessarily the cleanest. Again, these don't happen every once in a while, so if you're going to indulge in the party foods, go for it, okay? All I'm saying is that if you wanted to kind of keep on track or help yourself and feel like you're not overindulging, have a little snack before you go. And also between drinks, make sure you got some water in your hand, okay? Alternate between water and drinks, okay? That'll help to make sure you're not overdoing it on the alcohol as well. I guess for me, the main thing, and I never tend to overdo it, but I think that's because I really, really hate feeling overly full. So I pay attention to that, and I also, a lot of my allergies keep me from even eating any of these things in the first place. I'm gluten-free, I'm dairy-free. I can't really have any artificial stuff. So I'm kind of, I bring my own food, or I'll eat beforehand, and I just go for the social aspect. You don't even have to eat when you go to these things. Some people are afraid to do that. They're afraid to say no, and that's another problem. I have no problem saying that I'm here for social only. I'm here for my friends. I'm here to be social and chat with people. I'm here for the event. I'm not here for the food. The food's there. If you offer it to me, no thank you. You're not being rude. You're just, not hungry. Or you're just there for something else, right? You're there for the reason they're hosting the party, which is to have a bunch of people over and have fun. The dinner party, on the other hand, it's a little bit different. But for parties where, you have appetizers going around just because they feel they need to have food around, you don't need to say yes to everything. It's not going to hurt their feelings. You're there to enjoy their company. So I hope that helped. Overall, to recap in the moderation, have a snack before you go. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water. And be more mindful of what you're picking up. Party favors, appetizers especially, they tend to be very heavy on things like salt and fat. They're very indulging. Again, enjoy yourself a little bit, but just be mindful of what you're taking. A lot of appetizers also, because they're finger food, they tend to be battered and fried very often. So, keep that in mind. If it's buffet style, okay, my one recommendation is to first, if you want to make sure you don't overindulge, then my first recommendation would definitely be to go take your plate, fill it up with mostly a salad or veggies of some kind as your first starter, a little bit of protein, and maybe pick something in the buffet that you really, really, really want. So half of your plate at least should be veggie-based, a quarter of it should have a protein, and a quarter of it could have something you really, really want. Okay? Go back, eat it, enjoy it, sit there for a couple minutes, drink some water, chat with some people, enjoy your company. Still hungry? Okay, go back. Make sure at least, again, half that plate is veggies, then go for what you want. Okay? Make sure you get enough protein in your meal. And then, like I said, don't be afraid to get something you like. That's what you don't need to restrict. You don't need to say, no, I'm going to stick to my diet 100%. I'm going to eat a salad. That's not going to help you. You're probably going to go and binge on the desserts later. So be honest with yourself. And if you want that dessert, save some room. Have your salad for dinner and save room for the dessert. But just make sure you eat enough at dinner so you're not still starving when the desserts come around. Okay? Well, I hope that helped. And again, ask any questions you like. And yeah, I'd like to keep the videos shorter. Helps with my download speed and my uploading ability. And I'm sure you'd rather listen to a 15-minute rather than a 30-minute video. So post your questions and I'll try to post them more often. And Maggie looks very sleepy. She's getting either bored or she's just tired. So you got to meet Maggie, and yeah, have a great rest of your Monday. Or if I don't get this posted until tomorrow, Tuesday, and happy Canada Day to all of my Canadians. Bye now.